Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chart Request Live. Today is July 21st of 2025. We've got gold making big moves today, Alfonso. This has my attention. I know there's a lot happening in the market, so there's plenty to discuss here today. I've seen some early requests for crypto tickers, which I have a strong suspicion will be a big trend around here at ChartQuest Live. It's been kind of slow on the crypto tickers as of late during this show, but I think we're going to make crypto great again on ChartQuest Live. What do you think, Alfonso?
Yeah, I like it. Look, I mean, the big theme these days for me, it's crypto, right? Ethereum outperforming, altcoins in general outperforming. If you look at the chart of the Filecoin, looking beautiful, looking, poised to break out. Solana catching up. The big bases in the big names, like Ripple, the Binance coin. So they are, on the verge of a massive breakout, at least in these two. And
You're already seeing it in the Ripple, Alfonso.
yeah,
Is this the best chart in crypto? Nothing else looks like this. This is a textbook Kardashian bottom. I mean, look at
that's
that big
beautiful.
booty base breaking out to new all-time highs. I think this one's going to $10 at least.
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful base. It's been carving out a monster, consolidation for the past 7, 8 years basically. So energy has been building there, and right now buyers are taking control, making new all-time highs, breaking through the upper bounds of this base. And the bigger the base, the higher in the space. If you look at the Binance coins, it's a similar base. A very clean level there, trying to press against new all-time highs too. So, we have big bases in these cryptos. So I like them.
Totally. And that's exactly how I learned it in technical analysis kindergarten, Alfonso. The bigger the base, the higher in space. They've been teaching that at the CMT for many, many decades. And even before then, Alan Shaw learned from his predecessors who were practicing back like during the 1929 market crash. So this is nothing new. This is just how markets work. And yeah, few bases look as good as the ones we're seeing in crypto right
Yeah.
now.
But before we continue and take a look at the chart in the email, I mean, the most bullish argument right now for crypto, it's Ethereum outperforming, Bitcoin dominance falling apart. The riskiest coins in the crypto market are leading the way higher. So that speaks about risk appetite. So I like to see
Totally.
that.
And it's really impressive how the Bitcoin dominance has completely fallen apart. You have the 14-day RSI below 11, Alfonso. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
this is the lowest level since the Bitcoin dominance
Wow.
bottomed back in
Mhm.
early 2021. So, do you think this has been too much, or is this just
No, I mean,
the
and,
same
and
philosophy of like big moves start with big moves and there's more to come here? What do you
yeah,
think?
I think in this case I think that's the case right now. I mean, of course, we can see Bitcoin reassert some leadership, but I think over longer time frames, or at least for the end of this cycle, basically, we will see the Bitcoin dominance continue to fall apart. And we haven't entered that phase that we have seen in other cycles. With the meme coins, with the altcoins, with the NFT, that crazy behavior, we haven't seen it yet. So I think we may see that, or it's building some energy in the traders and investors. So
Totally. It's not every day we have JC on the morning show talking about his crypto dick butts and his
exactly.
the crypto punks and all of that. So yeah, recognize the times that we are in. What do we have in the mailbag today, Alfonso?
Yeah, let's start wavy. Last week sent us. Let's take a look at BTI, and he's asking basically if BTI can catch up to PM. So
Okay.
BTI, British American Tobacco.
Yeah, I like where your head's at here, Wavy, because, well, let's just first off look at Philip Morris. So this is, let's see, a lot of market cap here in the Philip Morris. You have $281 billion in market cap. Is this the largest consumer staple?
It's huge.
Let's see. Here, I'm going to do a quick search. Let's see. Largest consumer staples. Consumer.
Well, it's not. I mean, we have Procter and Gamble, we have Coca-Cola, but Philip Morris, it's right there in the top five.
Number 5. Yeah. And I don't know, like Walmart and Costco are classified as consumer staples, but I don't know.
Yeah, they also are. Yeah, they're like an hybrid, between discretionary and staples. So I will say, yeah, definitely one of the largest companies in the consumer staples. So basically, we're comparing the American one with the UK, right?
Yeah.
So Philip Morris beautiful uptrend since its bottom in April 2024. We broke out of that maze of that base in January of this year, and it has gone parabolic since then. And I think BTI, it's also catching up, beautiful uptrend from the April 2024 lows. Completing a classic trend reversal, and I like them both.
Well, I love to see that the ratio of Philip Morris to the British American Tobacco is getting oversold. So that's a new bearish momentum regime for that ratio, which means we're likely to see more outperformance from the BTI. And if you pair that with this beautiful bearish to bullish reversal, yeah, I like this a lot, Wavy. I think this is I'm not really big into the pairs trades, but I think this makes a lot of sense. I'm curious what the fundamentals are of BTI, because I know the Philip Morris has been a very large beneficiary of the whole nicotine pouch situation, which just has been, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread for these tobacco companies, Alfonso. I mean, the margins on these are insane. The sales growth is absolutely off the charts. So yeah, really curious if BTI has any of that going on, but yeah.
And we have earnings in Philip Morris tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow morning before the market opens. And for BTI, I think it's July 31st.
That's right. Yeah, 10 days from now.
Yeah. So let's pay attention to how Philip Morris react tomorrow to the earnings. So that could be some information for BTI too. We're
making tobacco stocks sexy again, Alfonso. This one, you've gotten a lot of movement in the absolute trend here, but don't forget this one almost pays a 6% dividend yield. So if you look at the total return chart of this, I think it would look drastically different. Maybe even at new all-time highs if you use the total returns. So yeah, consider that. This probably isn't a trading vehicle. This is probably something that you want to be involved in for this entire primary uptrend. So, that's how I think about it, at least.
All right, definitely. But both are looking good. And as you mentioned, we're making these tobacco companies, great again, I will say.
I love it.
Yeah.
Americans need to smoke more cigarettes.
The chart are looking good, so I can complain.
Totally. What else do we have, Alfonso?
Gerber is asking now about the Sushi Swap. Let's talk about crypto a little bit.
Sushi Swap. I have not charted this one in quite some time. So let's see. This was connected to SBF somehow. I forget how that worked, but there's the Uniswap, which is like the largest decentralized exchange, I believe. I'm not sure if it still is, but that was the case a few years ago. And then this one was supposed to be the next great thing in decentralized exchanges, but it does not really look like that's been the case. You have a $285 million market cap here. So this one might as well be zero. This one, you know, potentially a lot of upside here.
Yeah, you don't think that the upside potential here is, you know, very like appealing here, right? After bouncing back at this critical support and historic support level.
Totally. And you have that's a monster base. There's not a lot of bases like this in crypto. Like this is a pretty textbook base.
Was a 22 like in March of 2021.
Yeah. So this could be like a 20 bagger right here. You know,
that's right. At this point, right? Yeah. I mean, imagine if we revisit those highs.
Yeah, this is interesting, Alfonso. I'm glad Gerber brought this one along. I've not seen this one in a while. So huge shout out. Let's see. I'm charting this with the TradingView crypto data, but let's use something like Coinbase so we can drop a little WAP on it. Let's go to the IPO on Coinbase and see where that VWAP is coming in. So I think that could be an interesting level to look at. And, you know, Alfonso, these VWAPs are just so good. It's coming in right at the upper bounds of this base. Yeah. So I think that just adds more significance to a potential resolution of this massive base. And yeah, I think you can accumulate it down here, but I think it could still be messy in the short to intermediate term. I think you really want to get involved on a reclaim of this VWAP anchored to the old.
Yeah,
because you know, like this one, we were saying it could potentially go back to 20. So, you know, I'm not gonna fuss and fight over $2 right here when the real move is trading the primary trend.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, for me, you know, we have like two ways to try this when, you know, accumulate down here right above support, or just wait for a confirmation about that VWAP. You know, when we have that big reversal bases, they don't resolve in just a matter of day. They take time. They are a process, right? They tend to, you know, be messy. You will see failed moves, and you know, and I think a good confirmation, a good level to confirm that a valid trend reversal is underway will be even when we reclaim that VWAP from the all-time highs. Right now, you know, it's almost at 3. It seems far away, but you know, this is a huge, like a very high beta crypto. And you know, 4 years ago it was 22. So, you know, why not?
Totally, why not? I love that, Alfonso. I think that's all we have to say on this one. What else do we have?
Hanson just want to know a 3-month time frame for PCT.
Yeah, so this pure cycle, this is one I've been watching pretty closely with the freshly squeezed universe that I run here at All Star Charts. And this one is a $3 billion pollution and treatment control stock, but I think they're really doing, they're doing some cool stuff with like plastics. I don't fully understand it. If you're interested in it, go study this company. It's kind of interesting what they're doing, but the short sellers don't seem to think so. There is 27% short interest in this name with an 11x days to cover ratio. So a ton of potential short sellers that we can steamroll here. So I'm definitely interested in this PCT. And yeah,
it's beautiful. I mean, if you draw a retracement from the peak from 2021 and the bottom in 2024, we're piercing through that level. That level is around 15, and I think as long as we're above 15, this trend reversal is underway, and the path of the resistance is higher.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, the level couldn't be clearer. You're a little bit late to it now, so you have that, I don't know, $2 of risk. I think you want to not own this below 15. So that's the risk here. You would have ideally bought this on a breakout above that 15, but yeah, plenty of upside here. I see no reason for this one to not head back to 35. So that's more than a double.
No, it's looking very good. It's looking very good.
And we have Mr. Zerby in the YouTube chat. Didn't Juul just get its restrictions removed? I don't know. That's a good question, but that could be a rather large tailwind for those stocks. So yeah, interesting. It's not just the nicotine pouches at those big tobacco companies, but yeah, vapes are also amazing. So yeah, just to go back to that for a second, kind of off topic, but yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this chart, but very, very interested in the PCT. So shout out. Was it Hansen you said brought this one along? Yeah, shout out to Hansen. Good eye. This looks great.
Now let's take a look at some of the chat. H Chan just want to know TAZ. TAC. Let's see.
Let's see what this is. I cannot say I'm familiar with this one. This is a $3.5 billion utility stock with an 8 and almost 0.4% dividend yield. So yeah, on the higher end of those, a lot of utilities pay large dividend yields, but not a lot of them are in the 8%. So this one is from Canada. That's cool. Let's see. It looks like they're they're into all the renewables. Yeah, so you have a lot going on here, and yeah, looks like I've charted this one out before. So yeah, I don't think my opinion's really changed on it since I originally marked this one up, but yeah, super clean and clear level there. It's just kind of a range there. It's like 10.5 to 12, really. It's, that's a 1.5, but it is what it is. And right now you're at the upper bound of that range. So I think the primary trend is just now shifting from sideways to higher. And I think this one's going to continue climbing up the right-hand side of this base towards 38. So I think this looks fantastic. And the over 8% dividend yield is really interesting too,
No, I mean, the level is very well defined. We had, since the 2008 highs to the 2016 lows, we have more than a 90% drawdown, like 93% drawdown. That's, that was brutal. And,
this was supposed to be a zero, Alfonso.
Yeah, exactly. And these recoveries and this, trend reversals after a nasty drawdown, they take time, and we have basing for almost, for over 10 years. And right now, we're threatening to break out of this of this random bottom formation. We had that, like a failed move late last year, earlier this year, and now, it's giving it another try around about 12. I think about 12, would be like a good confirmation. But below 12, it will be messy, right? You will see, price going down, price going up, trying to break out, and I think that's the way you have to look at it. So I think 12.
I just dropped a whole ton of WAPs on here, Alfonso, and they're all coming in here around like from $9 to about 11.
Yeah, it's right there at the lower end of that range, of that breakout range. So yeah,
totally. Looks like the bulls are taking control of this one, but probably want to be patient with it. And remember what you're trading here. This isn't some high flying ARKI stock. This is a utility stock. So let it dance. But I like it a lot. This is, looks great. What else do we have, Alfonso?
Abe is asking us if let's take a look at Solana Bitcoin, that ratio.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit more of what we have to say in the intro, right, about Ethereum and altcoins. I think it's time for some of these altcoins to outperform Bitcoin. And look at this. This is a great chart, right?
This is a Kardashian bottom right here, Alfonso.
It's a really,
I like those.
It's a really good chart. Price bottom exactly at the same level as in April. And it's accelerating higher in the past few days.
This looks great. I'm kind of more interested in the Solana to Ethereum ratio, though.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Let's look at that then. So, yeah, monster daily candlestick here. Wow. So, okay. Seems like we could see the rotation into Solana now. So we've seen a huge rotation into Ethereum over the last few weeks.
Zoom out. Let's zoom out a little bit, right? Totally. That's the level, right? We're right there at the 2021 lows, right?
That's a big level. Great point there, Alfonso. Yeah, this is
so above those lows from 2021. Ethereum over Solana, right?
Yeah.
But if we break down...
You can also flip this chart upside down and it kind of looks different. It looks like a big base,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, if you do Solana Ethereum, it's looking very nice. So is this like a failed breakout? Or if this was, like a hard retest to that former resistance in this ratio?
That's the question. I have no idea. I think you have Steve out there making a big bet on the Solana. I think it's interesting, no doubt about it, but I don't know. I like Ethereum. You also have that catalyst of, you have the Bitcoin treasury companies, but you also have Ethereum treasury companies now. There's no Solana treasury company as far as I know. There definitely could be. There's so many of those popping up every day. So
look, I think we will keep talking about this chart in the future because it has a lot of information here to whether which one will be the second largest one, right? They are like battling there. If Solana continue to outperform as it did, in 2023, 2024, be careful there.
Totally. So you have, let's see, $105 billion in market cap for the Solana. The Ethereum is 455. So almost 5 times bigger. Ethereum is. That's kind of interesting. Let's move on, Alfonso. What else do we have?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at CRDO. Ticker symbol request from Nicholas Trades. CRDO.
Is this the drone stock?
Let's see. I don't think so.
RX. Yeah, this is definitely not a drone stock. From the Cayman Islands. Love that. So $16.5 billion market cap here. I'm gonna fib this one out.
Really nice card.
It is. Yeah, I'm gonna fib it out from this February 2023 peak to the May 2023 low, and I suspect we'll find a big extension level up here. And sure enough, there is a big level here around $90 in the CRDO. So above 90, I think this one's heading towards 140. If you wanted to give it a little bit more room.
Yeah, like 86 probably.
Right. You could, probably this close here on January 22nd of this year. That comes in at 85.50. I think that's probably a good level to define your risk against. And you can see here, I'll draw the line, but that's exactly what happened? You got a breakout here in June, and you quickly retested that level, and the bulls held the line, and right now they're making a higher low. So this one looks very constructive. I like this a lot. I haven't looked at this chart in a while, but
No, it's looking good. And it's
you
a
could
fresh
probably draw
break.
some type of parabolic trend line on this too.
Yeah, that's true.
I love parabolic trends. I don't think they have that tool on here, do they, Alfonso?
I haven't. No, I mean, I use it on Optima, not in
Yeah,
TradingView.
me too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah, looks great. Up 4.3% today. So shout out CRDO.
Yeah, it's looking good. That's a fresh break at about 89, 86. You know, the path of least resistance is higher towards 140. So this one is definitely worth it to watch. But now let's take get back into crypto. I mean, Mr. Serv is right there asking about the ZUI, SUI.
The Suey Louie.
Exactly.
Mr. Zerby's always bringing the heat. I don't think this guy's ever missed on this show. I mean, wow. What a beautiful chart we have here in the Suey Louie. So you just have monster base here, huge ripper. That was August 2024 to January of this year. Let's see how much the Suey Louie did during that time. It was a 10 bagger. And now you have another setup here. So let's just look at this price action here. And I will throw a little Fibonacci retracement level on here.
Okay.
I suspect it'll come in right here at this May pivot high, but I think really that's the level to define your risk against in the Suey Louie.
Yeah, it coincides very, very nice.
Wow, these Fibonacci lines, they're good, Alfonso. They continue to amaze me. I've seen it just time and time again, but it still fascinates me how good Fibonacci is. So yeah, I think that $4 level, it's kind of a range there. You could call it 4.25, really is confirmation of the bulls taking control of that short-term trend. And I think, yeah, so 4.25 will get you to 5.25, which will get you 7.5 in the Suey.
Yeah.
So this looks amazing.
Yeah, I think this one could easily go to 7, even more.
Totally. Yeah, this is a almost $14 billion crypto. What I think, Alfonso, is the Suey is going to flip the Solana. What do you think about that?
Let me see that relative trend.
So let's look at weekly candlesticks here. Look at this. Beautiful. It looks just like not just like it, but very similar to the Suey absolute trend. And I think you could draw some type of symmetrical triangle here.
Yeah,
see what happens there.
Right. It's getting tight in that ratio, right?
Totally. Yeah, you could probably throw some Bollinger bandwidth on here. Yeah, so the apex is around September. So maybe another month of consolidation here, but I think Suey is going to make another leg higher relative to Solana.
Why do you think it overtakes Solana? I mean, what makes you think
Because look
that?
at this chart. It's a much better asset than Solana, or at least it has been this cycle.
Yeah, but you need a lot of time for that to happen.
Yes, of course. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow.
And a lot of things could happen in the next cycle. Every cycle we have, like new leaders or new themes, either, the NFTs or the meme coins or the Dogecoin or the Pepe the Frog, whatever, in every cycle we see something new, like a new leader. So I don't know.
I'll stand by my words, Alfonso. I think it's going to happen, but okay, I see your point there. Yeah, it's true that I don't know the future. This is just the data that we have right now, and I think that suggests that this Suey is likely to surpass Solana in market cap eventually, given enough time.
Okay.
And I also believe that Ethereum is going to be bigger than Bitcoin one day, but there's very
That
little
would make
evidence of
more
that.
sense, I will say.
Say that again.
I think that will be more. That will make more sense. I think
Yeah.
in the future. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. We'll see. But I like where your head is at with the Sui. We match with our levels, and everything starts with a break at about 4. So keep that in
Sure.
mind.
Yeah, just to go back to the absolute chart real fast. Yep, that $4 level is a big one, Mr. Zerby. So keep an eye on that. This looks great though. So huge shout out to Mr. Zerby. This is probably the MVP of the Chart Request live chat. I don't know. It could be Wavy. I don't want to hurt any feelings here, but I feel like Mr. Zerby has never brought a bad ticker to the show.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Wavy and Mr. Zerby always bringing the best seekers to
They're
the show.
elite, man. I'm telling you, Alfonso.
I know. They're great.
What else should we look at today?
Berto is asking for. I mean, okay. Okay. It's UPXI, I think.
UPXI?
Yeah. Well, UPXI or UPST. I don't
Yeah,
know.
not looking at UPXI. That looks gross.
Yeah, I mean, it's very very weird chart. Only 320 million market cap. So let's take a look at the UPST. Yeah, I think we have mentioned, every time we mention this chart in the show. now I'm going to tell you, drop the vehicle from the all-time highs. We recently reclaimed it. So
I think the short interest is also very interesting here, Alfonso. You have 26% short interest in the upstart, and
I think that's the key. I think that's what makes upstart like different. That could be like the real kicker, right? I mean,
Totally.
these things, was at 400 4 years ago, and it's not even breaking out yet, right? It's right there at the top of that base. So just take a look at this one and keep it in your radar.
Totally, yeah. I think that's great advice there, Alfonso. I love to just set up alerts on my trading system, and whenever the price exceeds some level that I previously defined as important, it goes bling, and then it tells me, hey, you should probably look at this stock again. So yeah, I love
and especially with this, very short, have the shortest stocks, because a short squeeze can happen fast and right in your face, and you could miss it. So mark this one, in your radar. This is a really nice monster trend reversal underway. So keep this one in mind.
Totally, yeah. This, could be the chart of the day, but I think the pure cycle for me was probably the equity of the day, and then the Sui Louis is the crypto of the day. What about you, Alfonso? What did you like from today's show?
For me, I mean, I liked the like the conversation between crypto, the Ethereum. I think the Solana Ethereum ratio. I think we will keep talking about that one in the future. I think I think we're in a big level, right? To see which one of these will take the lead on in a more serious way, if Solana or Ethereum. So this chart tells a very good story. Whether there is like a failed breakout of this monster base or a hard retest, and then we bounce here and Solana takes the lead. So I think for me that's the most important one. And for the equities, I mean, CVA in the chat is is asking us right now about RKT, and definitely that's the chart of the day. I know we didn't bring it, but that's the chart of the day. It's breaking out 8%, almost 9% today. It's breaking out. The price has been, as tight as ever, basically. So, exactly. Look, yeah. mean, just look that big, but from that pivot highs, I like it. I like it a
This
lot.
looks great. Yeah. And I think this is a bigger theme too, Alfonso. I know Steve was on the morning show today pounding the table on home builders. Let's look at the XHB. You can see that last week this one really got hammered and it's held that key level of interest. It's flipping a former shelf of resistance into support. So I think this is probably just a higher low and an ongoing new uptrend for home builders. These ones have been completely decimated, some of the worst stocks in the market recently. But remember, these were on fire earlier in the cycle. And yeah, I think there's a big catch up trade to be made here. And Rocket is tipping the home builders hat. So, keep an eye on these stocks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really interesting. All right, let's wrap up the show for today. I appreciate everybody being here today. Mr. Zerby, CBA, Berto, Abe, all of you, thank you for being here. And if we didn't get to your ticker, please don't hesitate to shoot us an email at questions@stockmarketmedia.com. And we will be sure to put it in the mailbag for the beginning of next show. And yeah, be here at the same time, same place next week, and have a good trading week. Try to make some money out there. There's a lot of money to be made. So yeah, don't spoil the moment. It's right now. The time is to really press the gas. Speculative tech is skyrocketing. Short sellers are caught off sides. There's a huge macro squeeze happening right now. So take advantage of it. Make hay while the sun is shining is how I learned it.
I mean, what a way to end the show.
Totally.
Very, very well said, Sam. So
thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. We'll catch you all later. Adios.
Bye, guys.